I just wanted to invite Joe Trippi. He's been, I think, one of the most effective Democratic strategists. For some in the room, that may not be such a great thing, but a very, very smart and savvy political operator, and someone who believes that the people ought to have some say. Joe?
Thanks, Paul. Again, as John said, thank all of you for coming out on an evening before the holiday weekend. It does show taking responsibility in our democracy and civic duty seriously, and we need more folks to do that, particularly to protect things like the initiative process and our rights as citizens. I just want to, by way of a little bit of introduction, one of the, I guess, horrible people that may have been alluded to earlier, a wonderful introduction, was the Howard Dean campaign in 2003. I was the person that managed and organized that effort. And again, regardless of what you thought of Howard Dean or that campaign, what it should tell you is how strongly I believe in and believe in bottom-up democracy, and getting people to participate in their democracy, for them to come together under common purpose and common cause to make a difference in whatever way they decide to make a difference, whether it's in the Tea Party, or the Meat campaign, or the Republican Party, or a bigger effort that transcends politics. We need the American people to participate in solving our problems. And I think the one thing, that's one of the reasons I support the initiative process so strongly. I mean, I think it is the last bastion where a place where citizens can come together, put their idea on the table, create the dynamic change that John Fund talked about, because we do need it. Minka Olson was right. We do get calcified. We do start the institutions of the country as a democracy gets over to the special interests in that democracy become more powerful and more controlling in not wanting to see change. That is not going to serve, doesn't serve the country well, hasn't served us well for the last couple of decades for certain. And there's only one mechanism to really inject dynamic change into that system, and it's the citizen initiative process. And I think that anything done that isn't about protecting that part of the process is wrong. And anything that restrictive has to rally citizens to stand up and say, no, you're not going to take that away from us. And there's a progressive, as John pointed out, there have been great progressive initiatives that the right didn't like, and there have been great initiatives on taxes and things that the left didn't like. But in the end, it was the citizens of that state, citizens of California or Colorado, the citizens themselves that made that vote. As John said, look, we make mistakes. Citizens, we're capable of it too. But we will make fewer mistakes than the legislature. And at least it was a mistake we all made, because there's plenty of them, where the legislature, Congress didn't take action or took the wrong action that we end up paying for. The economic debacle being one of the more recent ones, where they didn't do, a lot of people didn't do their jobs. Now there's not going to be a way to inject the initiative process nationally. I don't know how that would work, but I do think we have to protect it in Colorado. We have to protect it and encourage other states to adopt the citizen initiative processes. I think, John, the 16 or 17 states now have the process.
24 in some form.
In some form. Less than half the states in the country allow for citizens to put something on the ballot and inject their own ideas into the system. And let me, the thing that drives me a little crazy is, wow, The initiative system, it's just being taken, the special interests take it over. Yeah, the special interests do not own the legislature in the states. They have no influence there whatsoever, right? I mean, every argument that's made is one that doesn't make, it doesn't make sense in the sense that it's, in the end, it's not going to be what special interests gave the legislature money to get that vote. There's no way special interests can do that with voters. They can put something on the ballot and they can get enough signatures, but it's still citizens who sign that the petition. It's still citizens that vote up or down. And so I just think that some of the challenges that John pointed out that are happening here in Colorado have to be stopped. They're not trying to stop the initiative process. They're trying to stop you. They're trying to stop the people of Colorado because they don't like the top likes to hang on to its power. The top is invested in keeping things the way they are, keeping their ability to change the laws the way they think is best, often changing the laws when every poll shows that people don't want that law. They still do it because they know better than the rest of us. But when we want to do something that they don't think is the right way to do it, then we're just a bunch of idiots. Right? We just don't know better. So how do we every time we pass something that they don't like, they get in the room and decide, like, how can we stop that from ever happening again? And by the way, that's what's going on in all of our politics today. The Dean campaign, right? They did not, the institutional establishment players in the Democratic Party did not like the idea of people giving $20, $10, $15, and raising more money than all the other candidates in that. John Kerry and these guys who were collecting money from the special interests and the big donors in the party. They didn't like the idea that suddenly a bunch of people could overrun the establishment of their party. You're seeing this now with the Tea Party and the Republican Party, where there's a lot of people in the establishment of the Republican Party don't like the idea that a bunch of small folks are getting together, putting money and ideas together, and challenging the way the party, the hierarchy of the party, who decides who's going to be a nominee, who decides who's going to be able to run for the Senate and the House. It's the same thing that they're doing with the initiative process. How do we stop all this change from happening? The change that we're seeing with technology, the change that we're seeing as citizens come together and try to put initiatives on the ballot that are rejecting the kind of change the American people want. And make no mistake about it, John was right when he said it's the only way. We are not going to get there with elected leaders making the changes, injecting change into a system that's calcified and poisoned. They're not going to have the courage to do it, and they're not going to have the ability and strength to do it, given all the special interests and the way the system. Again, I'm not arguing that they're corrupt. I do not believe that. I think a lot of good people get into office in the system, and the system's just so screwed up. There's no way for them to get what needs to be done. We are the people that have to put forward the ideas. We're the people that have to go out, organize, and pass them. And there's one way to do that, and it's this process. And I really believe that one of the ways a lot of our financial and fiscal problems in some of these states are going to get decided is at the ballot box by an initiative put forward by citizens. That will be the place where the political forces come together across party lines, across ideology, to stand up and say, it's time for us to make the changes we know have to happen. And it's the only place where it can happen. And so thank you for being here tonight and for being part of this. And I'm glad to be here and happy to talk to you later on about it. Thank you.